Hi, this is Timco Travels and today we are in
Occitanie
of France.
Occitanie is a region in southwest France.
Its capital is Toulouse, the fourth biggest city in France beyond Paris, Marseille and Lyon.
Jérémy, what have you lost?
What are you talking about?
Well, Toulouse. You've lost.
Haven't lost it, is it?
In Toulouse, you've lost. You lose things?
I'm about to lose you.
I'm so funny. The symbol of Occitanie is the Occitan Cross, the banner of arms of the Counts of Toulouse.
You can see it everywhere in the region, but the biggest of these is in the Place du Capitole, in front of Le Capitole, the city hall and its most iconic building.
What was the thing that we were most looking forward to?
The capital of Toulouse.
So how do we feel about that?
I thought I was going to lose my shit.
Should we go inside the capital?
Yes.
What have we got to lose?
You can visit the Capitole for free, which you enter from the Henri IV courtyard, in which the Duke of Montmorency was famously executed for leading the rebellion against the infamous Cardinal de Richelieu.
Originally built in 1190, the current building dates from 1750 and the entire building is built from the area's signature pink bricks.
These bricks can be seen all over the city and is the reason why Toulouse is known as La Ville Rose, or the Pink City.
Inside, the Capitole is filled with murals and lavish painted ceilings, the best of which can be found in the Hall of the Illustrious, which was painted in the 19th century and is basically my living room goal.
I thought we were going for simplicity in our living room.
Are you saying that's not simple?
No, Ben. No, it's not.
A city has existed on this spot since the Iron Age.
Gauls, Romans, and then the Franks inhabited its ever-changing streets, and it became the capital of Aquitaine.
Its position, on the French side of the Pyrenees, was pivotal in protecting France from the Spanish, and also its Moorish occupiers.
In fact, at the French lost the Battle of Toulouse in 721,
And the Battle of Poitiers in 732,
then the history of Europe might have been very different indeed.
the Umayyad Caliphate had occupied Spain in 711 and had been pushing north ever since, but their defeat in these two battles halted their progress and kept the Muslim civilization on the western side of the Pyrenees permanently.
Since then, Toulouse flourished as an important Christian city, with scores of ambitious churches and monasteries built amongst its medieval streets.
Incorporated into the French kingdom in 1271, its status was consolidated in the 15th century when Charles VII established a second parliament in the city, meaning that the entirety of southern France was administered from Toulouse instead of Paris.
Which the Occitans loved.
Since then, it has boomed, particularly in the 20th century, as the centre of French aerospace and technology,
Today it is the home of Airbus and was the birthplace of the Concorde.
which was a darn sight more impressive when Concords were still flying.
Look, it's not their fault people today prefer to fly for 8 hours in business class than 2 hours with less legroom.
We're in Toulouse, it's the morning, and what do you have in France for breakfast? Viennoiserie. How is yours, Jeremy?
Good.
What is it?
Chocolatine.
Which is?
Pain au chocolat.
Because they call it something different down here in the south.
Nearby is the beautiful town of Albi.
The home of famed painter Toulouse-Lautrec, the medieval old town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Sitting on the river Tarn, its vast cathedral looms high above the town.
Reportedly the largest brick building in the entire world, the cathedral was built as a statement of Catholic dominance after the destruction of the Catars and their religion, which had been dominant in the region until they were ousted in the 13th century. What's our friend Karen's cat called?
Albi.
No relation.
Today, the city has been preserved beautifully and should be high on your list if you're coming to the area.
As should be tasting cassoulet, the region's famously rustic but incredibly naughty signature dish.
Next, we head to Cahors, another medieval town, this time sitting inside a U-bend of the Lot River.
The Volantre Bridge is one of several known as Devil's Bridges, meaning that when it was built, people were so amazed by its technical achievement they believed it could not possibly have been conceived or built by humans.
Subsequently, people thought it was built by the devil himself, which it was, obviously.
The city itself also had a fairly devilish reputation, as it famously allowed bankers to charge interest on its loans, which used to be known as the sin of usury by the church.
Which is why Cahors is mentioned in Dante's Inferno alongside Sodom as an example of cities of absolute sin.
Well, we might not have witnessed any devils wandering around, but it was hellishly hot when we visited.
38 degrees.
And yet we still climbed a mountain to get a good view of the town from above.
And to see if we could see any of those pesky devils running about.
Which we didn't, so we headed to Foix, near to the border with Andorra.
A town centered around a rather impressive castle atop a rocky hill. It has been inhabited since the Romans built a fort there.
Charlemagne founded the town itself, and the castle has been inhabited by the Counts of Foix for centuries, until one of them, Henry Navarre, was crowned Henry IV of France.
And Henry IV is like a big deal in France because he ended the war between Catholics and Protestants by signing the Edict of Nantes.
He was assassinated by a fanatical Catholic for doing so,
but his legacy remained nonetheless.
to take this sword from the stone, and I shall be king. I can do this. I can do this. I am not a king.
I claim the Iron Throne.
It is not yours to take.
It is mine, actually. Our final stop is the glorious fortified city of Carcassonne.
I've been obsessed with wanting to visit this place since I saw a picture of it and thought it was CGI.
Yet another UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Citadel is a vast and sprawling medieval walled city that sat on the border between France and Aragon.
Evolving from a small castle to the stone behemoth it is today, it has two concentric fortified walls and then a castle inside that. A fortress inside a fortress inside a fortress. Impressive, no?
Or maybe it's just the product of paranoia.
Look, if I was a medieval damsel living in a tower like Rapunzel, I would feel pretty safe.
Wasn't Rapunzel a prisoner?
True.
Which meant that it would have been impossible for you to escape. If you'd been inside the main castle, it would have been the most secure prison in the world.
Okay, if I was a medieval damsel living in a tower like Rapunzel, I would hate Carcassonne.
That's better.
Carcassonne is named after a lady who owned the castle with her husband. There was a battle, there was a fight, the husband was killed, and they held up inside the castle for a long time, years and years and years, and they managed to trick the army into leaving and leaving them be by creating lots of scarecrows and putting them all over the walls to make them think that there was much more army inside than there actually was. And then they threw a fattened pig across the battlements, tricked the people into thinking that they would never be able to starve them out, and they went their way, and everybody sounded the bells of the city, and Carcass was the name of the woman, and Sonne means the sounding of the bells. Carcassonne.
There are 53 towers in Carcassonne.
One of which was the Inquisition Tower, where the Catholic Inquisition tortured anyone who didn't ascribe to their beliefs.
Which was particularly relevant here because Carcassonne was originally a stronghold of the Cathars.
If I was a medieval princess in a tower, would you save me?
What would I get?
My eternal love and devotion.
Do I get any money?
No.
Then I won't bother.
Thanks.
Make sure you head out onto the walls themselves to get the best views over the city and the landscape surrounding it.
Or just for a very, 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 very long walk. Occitanie is a beautiful region and holds the very best aspects of France's medieval history.
It's green, mountainous and hot in the summer and only a few hours drive from the French Riviera.
So why not explore Toulouse and the beautiful towns nearby? Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and to follow us on Instagram.
At Through My Cookie Eyes.
And make sure you tune in next time when we will be in...
We are back in Paris, but this time in summer.
Ooh la la. Until next time, folks.
See ya.